Hey, everybody, and welcome to the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. I don't know why I'm doing the thumbs up. As always, this is just an open chat. You could come in here, ask any question, suggest any topic. And remember, you're not just asking me. There's over 100 people here that have experience that could maybe answer your question for you if I can't. But feel free to come in, ask any question about any topic you want to talk about. Doesn't have to be guns. We kind of specialize in gun talk here, but we also talk wrestling. We talk cryptids, comics, cars, whatever you want to talk, all kinds of manly man stuff. So go ahead, bring up whatever topic you want to bring up and ask away. Also, if you disagree with me on anything I've said or done or whatever, feel free to let me know. You can slap the yank or spank the yank, we call it now, by telling me you disagree with me and educating me. So feel free to do that. Now, I always start the day by reading if we got any orders for the day. We only got one today, and it was for a magnet, but that's still $2 we didn't have before. And it was from Buddy Angus Shepherd Jr. I'm starting to think he just likes his name being read, because why else would he order a magnet and pay more for shipping than he paid for the magnet, other than just to get, to help out and get his name read. I think he might be one of those people who forgets his name every now and then, and he's got to hear it to be reminded. We've all been there. Forget her name or birthday or age. I get confused all the time on my age. I have to add it up. But thanks to Buddy Angus Shepherd Jr. for purchasing some merch. And remember, if you want to purchase some merch, you can go over to my website at Shopify. You can actually go to TYMP, which is listed. Why did I just put it back up after two days? There we go. TYMPpistolproject.com. You go over there. You can get a link to my Shopify page. There's one on that page where you can go over and buy merchandise like the What Could Go Wrong? The rooster pointing the Glock at his face there. The old don't point your Glock at your cock. Don't appendix carry, basically, anyway. I'm not going to show you this one because I think this one got banned. But going over there and get you some merchandise, including we are doing right now where you can become a member of the K9 unit, the TYMP K9 unit. You can go over there and purchase one of 3 shirts. There's different prices for each one because you can't be a captain for the same price as a corporal. But there's a corporal shirt, K9 unit corporal shirt, K9 unit sergeant shirt, and K9 unit captain shirt. So go on over there, choose which rank you want to be, become a member of the enlist in the TYMP K9 unit, help protect animals around the world, or at least across the country. I don't know how much we do around the world, but we do a lot of national stuff. So feel free to join in there. Get yourself a shirt. With that being said, you can go over TYMP for other things too. If you just want to become a Patreon member, a Subscribe Star member, you want to do a one-time donation, or you want to register to be a TYMPP recipient. So, and I haven't heard from any of the TYMPP recipients yet. I got to go check that out tonight, see if anybody responded. I haven't heard from one. Usually one responds the day I announce it, and then the rest trickle in over the 10 days. But I haven't heard from one yet, so let me check on that later. But as I said, let's get started here with the chat. We'll get logged in here, see if we got any questions coming in. We got one question coming here from Crazy Pitbull 16. He said, Glock 20C or Kimber Eclipse Custom 2 in 10 millimeter. Well, if it's going to be me, well, to be fair, I only own one of those 2 type guns. I own a Glock, a Gen 5 G20 10 millimeter. It's one I keep in my car. Excellent gun, love it. But if I was going to choose between one of those 2 and I was going to carry it, I'd choose the Kimber Eclipse, definitely, because I don't trust striker fire guns. Not for safety, not for carrying every day. I trust them to be sitting there when I need it, and it'll go when I need it to go, but I don't trust it for like safety of carry every day. All right, let's get over here to the other questions. Today is, what is today? No, wait, today's the 20th. So all those things I thought came in today, that didn't come in today. That was yesterday. So we didn't got hardly nothing today. I shouldn't have started this chat because I don't think we got enough questions to do a chat. Let's see here. We only got 3 questions. And there's nothing over here either, really. So I should have waited and possibly not started this chat. because I'm going to start doing it to where if we don't got enough questions, I'm not going to do the chat because there's no point. We can cut down the number of chats we do every week. Dale Rickety chimed in and said, all hail Phil. That's all he said was all hail Phil. At least he paid his tithe to Phil, unlike most of you losers. Jeffrey Vaughn. This might be a very short chat, by the way. Taurus Raging Hornet. I think he's referring to what every gun owner should have. I don't know about that. Isn't that like 17 something? I forget what caliber it is, but you'd think they would have a lot more capacity for the size of the round, but they don't because it's a powerful round. Didn't I just read that Taurus Raging Hornet? I clicked on the same thing twice. Oops, I missed a chat over there. I'll get to it. I sent more emails. Those cops need some heavy time. Yes, they do. I was reading watching some of the ones you sent a little earlier. I never poured my soda either. I wonder if I should. I'm going to wait, see if we continue doing a full chat before I pour my soda. I won't waste it. Excuse me. Let me get back here and then we'll get back over to the super chat over there because I think that answers all of our super chats over here. Yes, Jason Thompson was the last one. And now we got to get over here. I missed this one. Where'd it go? There it is. How do we eat the rich without ending in communism? USSR ate the rich, and that ended up very badly for them. Well, France didn't end up in communism. A lot of South American and Central Asia countries did the same thing. They ate the rich. They didn't end up in communism. Communism is not tied directly to not having an oligarchy. Pretending like the only option to an oligarchy is communism, that's ridiculous. Fair markets can exist. Societies can exist where as long as you're willing to work 40 hours a week and actually contribute to society, that you can prosper. We don't have that anymore. And it's because the rich and powerful, through their control of government, have redistributed all the wealth back up to the 1%. And taking the money from them and giving it back to the people isn't redistribution. It's retaking the wealth because they have slowly funneled it all back to themselves. Used to be there were rules in place that said, hey, if a company does these things, they get these tax breaks. If they pay their employees, if they invest in research and development, if they develop new things without the government having to pay them to do it, they don't pay taxes. That's right. You can write all that off. If you don't do those things, you're going to pay 40% in taxes. And they eventually use their power and their money to say, hey, we still want all these perks, but we don't want to do the things that we have to do to get them. You know, it used to be we either gave the money to the employees or we gave the money to the government. And in one way or the other, it went for the betterment of the society. They rewrote the laws to where it says we keep all the money, give nobody anything, and you all just be happy. And we'll keep the people too angry to do anything about it. We'll keep them too broke to do anything about it. Because if they're one paycheck away from the poorhouse, they don't have time to really protest anything. So to pretend that communism is the opposing side of the coin to oligarchies and corporatism, that's just a false dichotomy there. That's just a false situation. It's not true. So the answer would be a billion different ways. Let's see. I think that's it for tonight, though. I think that's all of our questions. Did we get any over here in the live chat? Let me see. How do you add your age up? You don't have that many fingers and toes. I can count. I'm pretty good at math. Just get my super chat. That's all I got it. In the world of stand-up comedy, who has the best delivery? Not necessarily the funniest. My votes are Richard Jenny, Bill Hicks, and yes, Jeff Foxworthy. See, I don't think any of those have specifically great delivery. I think Bill Hicks had great material. I think his delivery was a little sweaty and frantic sometimes. Richard Jenny's got good delivery. I mean, he's a good paced comedian, but I don't really think he's great. I think he's a good comedian. I never thought he was great. Jeff Foxworthy, I don't think has good material or good presentation. It's too rhythmic, too a nursery rhyme-ish. I don't like it. I think people like Kathleen Madigan has a great presentation. It's not so much what she says, but how she says it quite often. Because she can just tell a story, and it's super interesting. It's super funny. Who else is like that? Doug Stanhope is great. His delivery is a little frantic and a little damaged, but combined with the material he's got, it's excellent. Fine Ape, what's his name? Oh, good God, I'm blanking on his name, even though I've seen him 100 times and I watch him all the time. Kind of a chubby guy. He's lost a lot of weight recently because of Ozempic. I just saw him in concert just the other day, but I can't think of his name right now. But he's hysterical. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but I got a mental block on his name. You know, he's the one that does he's the fattest crack addict I've ever seen. Gaffigan. God, I couldn't think of Jim Gaffigan for a minute there for some reason. But yeah, there's lots of comedians with a really good delivery. Patrice O'Neill had amazing delivery and amazing material. So there's just all kinds. It'd be hard to narrow it down, but I don't think it's any of the three you mentioned. Seen the video of the fat officer luring cat out of owner's yard to write the owner a $280 ticket? Yes. It's pathetic. I sent you a super chat on PayPal. I think I already got it. I think I read them all already. Wait, I didn't see one from you. I saw Dale Rickety. Did it come in or something? Let's look over here. No, here's why it just came in. He paid his $2 tithe to Phil, and he said, Smith & Wesson Model 320. You can't do super chats for the first portion via this. Like I said, it doesn't work. You're not going to be in that first video. So I don't know why you're wasting your dollars. Smith & Wesson Model 329 PD. I love mine. It's an awesome carry gun and an accurate gun also. You could have just said, I love my Smith & Wesson 329 PD, and it wouldn't have had to been part of the first part of the show. Wouldn't have to do that explanation. But that looks like that's it for us today. I don't see any more questions coming in. We got one right here. Hold on. David Ford said, Phil saved me 2 weeks ago, not drawing my H&K P30. Well, good. I'm glad Phil saved you. You must have paid your tithes, and now he will be safe again, while these other fuckers are going to get their heads blown off, simply because they aren't smart enough to pay their tithe to Phil. Gun water use. Let me see if we got one last question here. Yankee, did you buy a Colt Anaconda Grizzly with the deep engraving? A Colt Anaconda Grizzly with the deep engraving. I don't know that anything like that exists. I know there's Colt Anacondas and probably some that have been engraved, but it can't be an Anaconda and a Grizzly. In fact, it'd be closer to a Kodiak than it would be a Grizzly. A Grizzly is Python with an unfluted cylinder, basically, for all intents and purposes. So, yeah, I don't know what you're asking there. Scientists at UC Berkeley claim that they've discovered a new color, which they named Olo. I saw Olo, and it just looks like deep, rich mint green. I don't, their idea of a different color isn't anything that would actually look different to you or me. It'll just have a slightly different property. Like it's the only one we've ever seen that refracts light in this exact way, or reflects these exact percentages of, the visible wavelength, or maybe even not visible, maybe even just period, the wavelength. So it really don't mean much. And it seems like a waste of time to me, but I'm sure hopefully there's a reason for it. Who would lead our French Revolution? That's the question, isn't it? Who would lead it? It definitely ain't going to be all the people you see online who talk all the time about how they're all about freedom and America and all this other stuff, because as soon as someone that hates the same things they hate is in power, they're all for fascism. whether they're left or they're right. If they get in someone that's up there preaching how people on the right are evil and different and blah, 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 well, then they're like, yeah, we got to hate them. If they're someone on the right saying people on the left are evil and different and blah, they're like, yeah, we got to support them. Because they're okay with, everybody who's in this country seems like they're okay with authoritarianism as long as it's hating the right people or targeting the right people. So I don't see anybody right now that would lead our revolution. Did you know that Chiappa shotguns are manufactured in Turkey? Yes, I do. That's why I've never bought one of the triple threat shotguns. I always waited until I see one used. And you know what? And people must love them because I ain't never seen one used. And let me get to the emails real quick and then we'll get out of here. Where did my emails go? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got a couple emails here. Where are they at? Here's one. This is kind of a long one. I'll get to it first. This is Manuel seeking info from an internet professional. Safeties and decocking like on the H&Ks. I've already read this question. Basically, he wants to know if there's any other mainstream handguns that have that separate decocker on the back of them, like a HK. Well, no, I don't think anybody else uses that type of one. Excuse me, on the back. But guns like Sig Sauer, they have a fully dedicated decocker. It's nothing else. It's not a safety. You can get those. Beretta 92s, the Type Gs, they're decocker only. There's nothing that's on the back next to the hammer like that, but you know, it's just right there. But H&K is the only one I know of that's a mainstream gun that uses that mechanism. He also says he doesn't like striker fired guns, but as long as he could get that Langdon tactical safety, he would be all right with it, that striker block thing. Well, that's right. That's good. Yes. I heard I can get a G20 and use 40 caliber on a 10 millimeter without changing barrels or magazines. I wouldn't recommend either, to be honest. Because, well, the main reason is you really increase your chances of a misfire, or not a misfire, but a no fire, a failure to fire. When you are putting 40s and 10 millimeter barrels, it sits a lot further forward, which means that striker pin, that strikers have to move a lot further forward to strike it. If it does, sometimes it won't. If the 40 is fully seated forward against the rim of the barrel of the cylinder or the chamber, I mean, sometimes the firing pin won't hit it hard enough to let it off. It has to actually be sliding back a little bit and get shoved back forward, which is not good on the chamber of your barrel. So I wouldn't do it for that reason either. So it's just not. It's like, yeah, you can shoot bullets that are too small for a barrel down the barrel, but I wouldn't do it. Now, the 40 and the 10 are the same size bullets, but I'm just saying, if you fire a 32 out of something that's set up for a 380, a lot of times it'll fire. I've done it. I've fired 9 millimeters in a 40 by mistake. It'll fire, but is it something you want to count on? And is it something that could potentially do damage to your gun? Yeah. And same thing with firing a 40 and 10 millimeter. It can also cause you to break your firing pin. So just not a big fan of it myself. There was another, hold on, I got it. Boom. Let's see, there was another email. Where did it go? Window. Where did it go? I thought I saw another email. Maybe I didn't. I thought there was another one. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Wait, what's this one? I just covered that one. That's his for his entry. All right, there we go. This is what I wanted to share. Where did it go? Boom. This one is fully aware this is not your style, but what do you think of my daily? Soon will be changed to a 1911 Garrison with 45 ACP. I got nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's not my type of gun, but I like the knife a lot. I don't know who makes that knife. It's got a grill on it, so it's got to be cool. But I got no problem with that. I even like the gold accents. I wouldn't be my style carry, but to each his own. All right, I think that's it. Let me make sure we're caught up on all the super chats here. We really should not have started a chat today. I should have kept those, the few questions we had, for tomorrow. We're all caught up on everything over here. All right, we're going to do a last call for questions. If we don't see anything coming in, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got other things to go do. I'm not going to bother opening my soda. Let's see here. I don't see anything coming in. Survivors of the 2022 Brooklyn subway shooting are suing Glock, alleging that Glock handguns are too concealable. It's a ridiculous argument. It won't go anywhere. Are you disgusted with the MAGA party, was Republican Party, as you are with the Democrats? Well, yeah, but in different ways, different reasons. I mean, every one of them says something every day that makes me cringe, makes me sick to my stomach to be an American. Both parties. So, yeah, I can't find anything. I don't think you can be a mainstream party person in this country and care about the Constitution. You have to ignore it. I know, like other ones, well, the Republicans don't do nothing anti-constitutional. If you paid attention to the Republicans over the last 3 decades, have you not even paid attention to that right now? The current administration has multiple judgments against them for violating the First Amendment and orders to stop violating the First Amendment that they were ignoring. So don't tell me they're not violating. They're the ones that got active judgments against them right now. If you can't see your side's just as bad as the other one, then there's something wrong with you. I love how people like to pretend that, oh, there's this giant cloud of corruption over Congress, but it only affects these people I don't like. All the people I like are immune to this giant cloud of corruption and all this money. They don't get rich. They're getting just as rich as the ones on their side. So how you explain that? Oh, well, they're just smarter, make better investments. No, they're under the same umbrella of corruption that the rest of them are. If you can't see that, well, then you're part of the problem because you're brainwashed. You don't think things through. You just believe what you're told. Did you ever ship the thread protector? No, I did not. The last ones are still sitting right here. I need to get those shipped. I've also got a couple patches here I need to ship, so I need to get to the post office. Does John Cena deserve a beat Ric Flair? No, he doesn't. No, John Cena was never good. John Cena was a marketing campaign by WWE. He was never good in the ring, and the gimmick was stolen. And I just never saw anything good about him in wrestling. He was just good at selling T-shirts to young suburban white kids that wished they were black kids. And that's about all he was ever good at. Now, as an actor, I really like him. I think he's great in things like Peacemaker. I mean, I love Peacemaker, and he's a big part of that. But as a wrestler, I just can't stand him. I don't think he's any good. He's all personality. Double Eagle in Deer Park had a triple shot shotgun. I've never seen that one. Not that I know of, anyway. Let's see here. Japanese researchers have created lab-grown human skin that can stretch, self-heal, and smile on a robot's face. This is how the T-80s flesh gets made. Yes, that's how we get. But between the time it really becomes a perfected thing and the time we're wiped out by the machines, well, just think of all the prostitution robots in between. You know, sex robots galore for a while. Now, of course, it's a limited amount of time because eventually they're all going to turn against us and kill us all. But there'll be that period of bliss for human society. I bet there'll be no wars, nothing. As long as everybody has a sex robot, everybody will be fine. Everybody will get along. Because I think that's a problem with a lot of people in politics nowadays that are so angry, especially on the right side. They don't get laid because the rights have this real evangelical opinion of sex, and it just really makes their people very angry. So I think it'll be a golden age until they kill us all. But you know, everything comes with a price. I'm in no hurry, just wondering, said Fire Goosey. Well, you'll get it when you get it. How about that? I got to tell Caden that all the time. You'll get it when I get around to it. He's very impatient. He's got to have stuff right now. Oh, someone did a super chat through YouTube. They're going to take that money. AK Lover says, wait, where'd it go? Do you think a Shadow 2 compact without a firing pin block is still a good concealed carry? Yeah, I think so. It's hammer fired, so I'm not as worried about it. So, and hammer won't go forward without it, pulling trigger. So, yeah, I think it's fine. Not everything needs firing pin block. Striker fireds, you definitely need firing pin blocks, but most hammer fired guns don't really need a firing pin block. So yeah, it's excellent carry gun. I would carry it. If I had one, I'd carry it right now. Well, not right now. I'm not wearing any pants. It'd fall out of my shorts. But if I was going to go somewhere, I'd carry it. In fact, if someone wants to give me one, I'll carry it. I promise. If you want to give me one. I think we got a super chat came in over on the what do you call it? Whatever the fuck this is over here. Yes, it was Per Gustafsson. He chimed in and said, remember, it's last call for questions. Once I answer this one, if there's no more, we're out of here. Here is something. Well, that's not a question. That's just a statement. That didn't even keep me for a second. But I think that's it. I think we got to go here. I think we're out of questions. I got that. I got that. And I got all these over here, unless there's somebody after Per Gustafsson. I think I got all the emails. Let me check the emails. That's just okay. Cinches FFL for the double super secret rock giveaway. Remember, we're also doing the double super secret Pico giveaway. Nobody got interest tonight, so we don't got to worry about that. So I don't got to write those down. I don't know if anybody will get interest any night because I don't know if anybody wants. Even though it's a very cool gun and it's discontinued, you can't get it anymore. It's one of the few true pocket guns. You can actually put it in a wallet holster and stick it in the back pants pocket. No one would even know it was there. And it'd be safe. So it's a great little gun to have. Plus, it was from my own private collection. So we'll keep that in mind that we're doing that. But, well, no, I guess AK Lover did get an entry. Got 2 entries. Oh, and Edgar Cortez got an entry. So we did get a few entries here. Let me write that down. I'll do it right now while we're sitting here. New note, Edgar Cortez. And I don't know who AK Lover is, but I'm just going to put him down as AK Lover. In fact, he gets 2 entries. Boom, right there. What was this? This is the double super secret Pico giveaway. All right. Edgar Cortez don't need to be in big old type. There we go. And what was today's date? Today's the 20th. Today's Easter, I guess. Maybe that's why there's nobody asking questions. Well, there's people here, there's just nobody for the price. Is it $2 entry for the Pico? Nope. It's just the same as last time. In fact, Pico, I think, costs every bit as much as the Rock. So, and I think it's better in a lot of ways. Let me make sure we're caught up on the super chats. Rochinda, no, just use where's Rochinda? You got to pay to talk. No, you can talk. Well, you can talk all you want. Talk amongst yourselves in there all you want. If you don't put at the Yankee Marshal in front of it, you're just talking amongst yourselves because it doesn't look like you're talking to me. If you're talking to me, you got to put at the Yankee Marshal. Do you not wonder why a lot of people are doing that? They're not doing it for the fun of it. Why is the Pico better than the Rock? Well, you can carry the Pico. Pico actually serves a purpose. Like I said, it'll slide in a wallet holster and go in the back pocket. That Rock don't really serve no purpose. It's like, even if it was a carryable gun, which I don't think I would carry it, it's a little big. I don't know if I'd trust it to carry it. I would trust the Beretta Pico. And you can customize the Pico. You can put different color bodies on it. You can go to Beretta and order you a pink one if you want. It's got a stainless slide. The barrel and the slide are both stainless steel. And the body is green right now, but I've got a black one too. Leftists seem a lot more angry than Trump supporters. Only if you're looking in certain spots, you can find just as much anger on both sides. In fact, you don't see it, means you're probably not looking for it. or you're excusing it on one side or the other. Look at one of these angry Trump rallies, or the people outside protesting against something. They're very angry. They're all different crowds. On the left, it's like a bunch of teenagers that are fucking angry over here, and 20 somethings. And over here, it's a bunch of 40 and ups that are very angry. These ones are angry because they don't think they're being given a fair shot at life. These ones are angry because they think they worked their whole lives and they got nothing to show for it. So as long as they can keep blaming each other, like the kids are blaming these people, you're the reasons I don't got a chance at life. And the older people can be blaming the younger generation of, you're the reason I don't have anything to show for all my years of work, when it ain't really either one of them's fault. It's the people that are making the commercials and owning the studios and all that stuff that are the problem. It's not the younger generation's fault that your pension went away and that they, got rid of your Medicare and blah, blah, blah. And it's not the older generation's fault that they aren't offering you anything anymore. You can't even get a job. They ship everything overseas. That's not the older generation's fault. No more than, like I said, the other stuff is the younger generation's fault. It's all the same people's fault, the 1%. And they just want to keep you mad at each other. And both sides are equally angry. And like I said, if you can't see that, well, that's because you're only looking at one side, because you want to blame them for the problems. All right. I think that's it for today. We made it to a full chat, actually. I don't know how we did that, but because we had no questions. I must have just babbled a lot. But let me make sure we're all caught up on everything. We are. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I wish we'd had some questions and some comments, but maybe we didn't because it's a holiday. Or maybe just a bunch of freeloaders. I don't know. I would say holiday, because every day we got a bunch of freeloaders. Don't appreciate this entertainment I've given them. This hours and hours of well, I guess this is what, entertainment? We'll call it entertainment for the sake of it. And all it Phil asks is you to donate $2 minimum. And you don't do it, and you're going to pay the price. And when every one of you pays the price, don't come to me for sympathy. I'm going to laugh. When you're like, oh, my baby got blown away in my trailer by a tornado last night, I'm going to be like, pay your tithe to Phil. And if you say, well, no, I'll be like, well, then good. You got what you deserved. I'm glad he did it. Because, he punishes me when you all don't do your things. He pushed my car into a tree. My plantar fasciitis is acting up. I'm assuming that's because of y'all not paying your tithes, but could also just be the fact that I eat shitty food and I walk around barefoot too much. But thanks, everybody, for coming. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Thanks for everything you do for the channel. It is appreciated. Remember, we are doing the double super secret Pico giveaway, so be ready for tomorrow. Have some questions. I will see you all then. I think we'll make it $5 entry for the Pico, though, because if you enter for the silver bullet, you'll also get an entry for the Pico, because I think the Pico seems like it's a hard sell. But we'll see. I'll have to double these, but I'll decide by tomorrow. But I'll see you all then. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.